Hello, and welcome to the inaugural episode of the Bang Bang Tang podcast. I'm Frank.
And I'm Bryan.
We will have segments to the show. Right up front, we will have segments such as Shove It in My Mouth, where we talk about crazy and tasty foods that may or may not want to try ourselves. Your Mama Dresses You Funny, where we'll talk about current trends in men's fashion. Things that we may or may not like. Geeking about sports and sporting about geek. Just talk about current entertainment news, geek news, sports news, anything that tickles our fancy. And finally, we'll cap off every episode with our See You in Hell segment. Where I'll leave that one a surprise for the end.
Surprises are fun.
They are fun. All right, let's get this shit started. Shove it in my mouth. What you got, dude?
So I was looking online for just weird menu items around the country, things like that, or wherever, just around the world. Found the 5 weirdest fast food menu items introduced to us so far in the year 2015.
Ooh.
Some of the ones I have found, some we may recognize, some that are just off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
One is KFC introduced an edible Scoffy coffee cup.
Scoffy.
Now, what that is an edible cup consisting of a biscuit wrapped in sugar paper and lined with heat-resistant white chocolate. So, pretty much, this whole cup is edible.
Chocolate biscuit.
Pretty much.
Chocolate biscuit.
Like what you just drink your coffee, and then you just eat it like Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. Now, it's not released in the U.S. at all.
For good reason, probably.
It is supposed to be released sometime this year, at least in the U.K.
What do you put in? I mean, is it filled all the way with chocolate? Or is it hollow?
I have no idea, honestly. I think the whole thing is chocolate. Because
first thought, you put gravy in that bitch.
You could. That's what I would do, at least.
I mean,
but I could see some people doing some weird things.
I'd be good up until the chocolate.
I don't want the whole thing. What are you talking about?
I mean, come on. A cup o' biscuit. Biscuit o' cup.
Give me a stick of butter. We'll just put it in there.
Yeah, I mean, that might be one of the worst things I've heard. It's internationally fast food wise.
It is a very interesting thing. I would be surprised. No, I will not be surprised if it comes here to the U.S.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I mean, the double down.
People will buy it.
We survived the double down. I think we can survive.
We like weird things in the U.S. here. So.
If only it didn't have chocolate in it.
If it was just a biscuit-lined cup. I think
that'd be good.
Yep. So then, number 2.
Mm-hmm.
You may recognize this. You may have even had it.
Mm-hmm.
It is the Little Caesars bacon-wrapped pizza.
I have had and heard of this.
It's a 3.5 feet of bacon wrapped around a deep dish pizza. It is 450 calories per slice. That just sounds like a heart attack waiting to happen.
That doesn't faze me.
That doesn't faze me.
That makes it seem like more of a challenge. If you tell me the caloric hit that you're going to take on your body.
I don't know. I could not bring myself to eat that. When I first heard about it, I thought to myself, do I want to die today?
It's all right. And that's the thing, the bacon itself on the outside is pretty bland.
Okay.
I mean, it's crispy, and it gives the crust a little bit of the bacon flavor, but, I mean, for the most part, it's just regular Little Caesars deep dish pizza.
So is there no crust at all? Like, the bacon is just substituting the crust?
Well, their deep dish alone has very little crust to it.
Okay.
I mean, it is deep dish, and there's a bit of a crispy edge to it, but, I mean, yeah, there's not like you would find on Pizza Hut or something. You know, they have a pretty substantial crust, but
right.
Yeah, there's a bit of a crust, but not much. It's all right.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
So then number 3, I got the Krispy Kreme bacon hot dog.
What?
Yes, it sounds just that bad. It is a hot dog inside a traditional Krispy Kreme glazed donut bun with bacon and raspberry jelly drizzled on top.
Why jelly? Why do you gotta ruin it with the jelly? I was on board. I was ready. I was gonna give you cash out of my wallet for you to go and get that for me, but then fucking raspberry jelly?
Yeah, they should give you that option as to if you want jelly or, heck, if I want chocolate drizzle on top or whatever. No. Yeah, that's what draws me away from a hot dog donut, is the jelly.
Excuse me, sir, would you like the raspberry jelly on it? Y'all got chocolate in there? No, sir, we can't do chocolate. Man, fuck this donut.
Forget it, man. I'll just take a cream stick.
No, man, just give me the nacho cheese-filled jelly cruller. No.
Now, speaking of weird things with hot dogs and doing all that,
Yeah.
we have the KFC
I can think of a lot of weirder things with hot dogs.
We'll just leave that to a personal side. The KFC Double Down Dog,
I have heard of this.
which is a hot dog inside a bun made of fried chicken covered in cheese.
Yeah.
Now that one, yes, I shot down the bacon wrap pizza. This one I might actually give it a shot to see what really this tastes like.
I have heard of that one. And do you want to know what turns me off from it? I don't trust international hot dogs. That's the only thing that I read about that. I was like, do I want a Korean hot dog? Probably not.
Do you know the undisclosed but estimated amount of calories for this thing?
Not enough.
Well, 1,000. I don't know what not enough for your limit is, but 1,000.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But it's supposed to be available in select restaurants in the Philippines. There are no plans to even release this in the U.S.
Because we'll never stop eating them.
Well, isn't that the point? We give them the money and we die eating them, and then there you go.
Yeah,
then we have a whole other problem on our hands.
They at least put up the front of semi-caring about what we're putting ourselves.
That's just weird things.
Yeah, hot dog and chicken. I don't.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I'm just not for it. Just a hot dog. I'm good with my bread bun. Don't give me chicken as no.
Chicken ain't bread.
That's like, let's take a piece of steak and put chicken as the bun on the steak. Too many different meats going around there.
So, I mean, you bring up a valid point in that I would be much more down with chicken patty burger than chicken patty hot dog.
Now, you put it that way now, man, that actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Chicken patty burger.
Man, KFC don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Thanks a lot, Colonel.
If that is your name anymore. Well, keeping in line with chicken being used as a bun or holder of sorts, Taco Bell, currently in California, is testing their taco made with chicken shell. So kind of like you have the double down, you have a flattened chicken patty that's folded up in the shape of a crunchy taco shell, and then in it you have your lettuce, sour cream, cheese, bacon, whatnot.
So it's just, they seem to carry a trend with this anyway, with the biscuit taco, the waffle taco,
yeah,
and now you're having the chicken taco.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd still try it. I can't knock it. I mean,
I'm more at this point curious to see where we run out of taco shell ideas.
Well, I think the people at the meetings of Taco Bell are just like, so what do y'all got now? Well, we could turn this into a taco and see how that goes.
And nothing else.
They've run out of ideas completely. It's just, what can we turn into a taco at this point?
Gentlemen, sales are down. What do you have this week? We haven't used cotton candy yet.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to collaborate with McDonald's, and we're going to have a quarter pounder taco. With or without the cheese.
Big Mac patties curled up into a taco shell with special sauce in the middle.
I'd try it, but I won't feel good about it afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, it's a right price. Currently, they're selling them for $2.50 in California. And
well, I would hope so, because paying $2.50 for something that's not guaranteed to even be good. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be good. Usually, the chicken they have is pretty decent. So
I was say, buddy, you are rolling the dice when you set foot in Taco Bell. Anyways.
Always.
Talk about just.
Why do you think they have this thing called fourth meal? You're so drunk when you walk into a Taco Bell, and you don't even care what you get or if it's even good.
No. We're so lazy anymore that we'll take our breakfast inside of a tortilla folded up upon itself. No plates, no spoons, no knives, no nothing. Just fold it up in one little compact thing we just shove in our mouth all at once.
They call it on the go.
And I love it.
Or for me, just sitting on my couch. Not going anywhere.
I actually have something, for those of you that don't know, we are broadcasting out of Canton, Ohio. And I actually have a local restaurant that specializes in sandwiches that are freshly made, homemade ingredients. It's called Mr. Zub's. And it's in Akron, Ohio. And their sandwiches are based on movie characters.
I have never been to this place.
And are named as such. And their current fall special menu has a sandwich called the O-Dog from the movie Menace to Society.
Very nice. Good job.
It is a Philly mac and cheese.
That sounds phenomenal.
Grilled Philly steak, topped with white cheddar mac and cheese, and tater tots, and steakhouse mayo on a hoagie.
Okay, yeah.
I kind of want to put my own steakhouse mayo on my laptop right now.
Just reading that. I need to go change my shorts right now.
God.
That just...
How fucking good does that sound?
That sounds just amazing. But just, wow.
Yeah. I mean...
Why has no one thought of this sooner?
Probably because it's a horrible idea.
But a delicious idea, too.
And they also have a Mad Max sandwich.
All right.
That is a turkey pepperoni. Grilled turkey and pepperoni smothered in our homemade marinara sauce and melted provolone on a hoagie. That's a pretty basic sandwich, but...
So are we saying Mad Max is pretty basic?
Yes.
Disagree with that one right there.
That sandwich means that you'll go for the turkey and pepperoni, but really the marinara sauce will take over the main storyline, and you'll follow her pretty much the whole way, and you'll hardly hear of the turkey and pepperoni.
But it'll all come together to be this great sandwich.
Absolutely.
Visually beautiful.
Yeah, it all sounds good to me. And from personal experience, if you do live in the area, check it out. It's always spectacular. And they serve tater tots. That's a plus.
Can never go wrong with tater tots.
No.
Napoleon, give me your tots.
So you got for food?
That's all I have for food at this time.
All right, we'll leave Shove It in My Mouth. Hopefully you guys some good ideas, things to keep an eye on. Move into Yo Mama Dresses You Funny. And here we'll discuss current trends in men's fashion, things that we may agree with, may disagree with. I'm willing to bet most of the time we will disagree.
It all just depends.
It really does.
So, the main one that I always see, it seems to be the past couple years, this apparel item, I guess I could say, comes about, and I don't know why, but it's going away now. It's always during the summertime.
Fanny packs.
Actually, somehow I have seen those come back. But the sun hats.
Oh, the fucking bucket hats?
The bucket hats, that is the name. The bucket hats. I don't know how many people I see walking around with bucket hats, and I think it is one of the most ridiculous items I have ever seen. And I just have no words when I see people walk around with them. And now it's like NFL and NBA and the MLB are advertising these bucket hats, selling them at retail stores, and people go crazy for them.
The only people that wear them, I think mostly unironically, are senior citizens, grown men that are actually going fishing, or toddlers who are being dressed by their parents and really can't put up a fight either way.
See, those ones, I'm okay with.
That's fine.
That one's okay.
That's who they're made for.
Right, I will not fight those people that are wearing those.
But you will beat the shit out of some 22-year-old, not even hipsters are wearing it. So it's not even ironic.
No, it's the 22-year-old, I want to be an athlete.
Yeah.
Or
just that's all you need.
Just the kid who wants to, I guess, try and quote-unquote fit in.
Ma, I want to be a basketball player. Give me a bucket hat and some Nikes.
And I'll be set. Make sure they're Jordan Retros. I'll wait in line for 2 hours.
Yeah, I don't see the appeal at all.
And I have a question about one apparel item that I'm afraid is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing it a little bit more and more. I don't even know the technical name for these, but the baggy chain pants.
Oh, the bondage pants?
I guess the ones that like the gothic emo types will wear.
Yeah.
Are they making a comeback?
I haven't seen them, but
I've seen them within the past couple months, and I'm afraid they're coming back.
I generally don't run with that crowd.
Neither do I. They're on the street where I'm not going to say where they should be. But I'm afraid they're going to make a comeback, and then we're just going to be through a vicious cycle.
Of just because even for girls, the choker necklaces are coming back hard, and like fucking overalls that are cut below the ass, and everything. That's
okay. The 90s, some people, I'm not going to fight people on that one.
The 90s are coming back with a vengeance.
Sadly, some things are okay. Some things need to stay in the 90s.
Like I would be
like bucket hats. That was one of the 90s things.
Should have stayed. I'm okay with, the baggy jeans and the kind of, the flannel shirts. I'd be totally cool. I could rock that. Because the big man, I wear baggy clothing as it is, and I would finally be back in style.
Yeah, you would fit in finally.
Oh.
But flannel shirts and baggy jeans, that's my wardrobe currently.
Yeah.
So for having it swing back around, I never knew it left. Let's begin that one.
Yeah, fuck bucket hats.
Bucket hats, the bondage pants, even one of my pet peeves, females who wear headbands on their forehead. Yes, you're making that face at me like, why did you bring that up?
Like
yes,
the floral ones?
Yes. Like you are Pocahontas of the modern day. Why? What's the point of that?
Well, I think that and the hipsters in general, like generally what they end up wearing, it all reflects that they want to look like hippies, but they don't want to act like hippies.
The hippies lost, sir.
But that's the thing, though, is if you were genuinely a hippie and you wanted to be a hippie, like you would be an activist, like you would attend protests, you would be trying to better the world in some way.
But yet here you are eating a double cheeseburger when you should be fighting the cruelty of animals or something like that.
These fucking flower children with braided flowers all up in their hair, walking around with Starbucks and Chipotle, ain't helping no one. Helping no one.
It's confusing. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that one irks you a lot more than
It does. It irks me so much.
Is that all you got?
That is all I have. I'm good after that rant.
I have. According to the New York Times, they have a fashion section on their website. As of right now, today, we are amidst the rise of the shirt jacket.
The shirt jacket.
I was going to say a shirt jacket, you may ask? Brian, when it's not cold enough for a coat, but too chilly for a single layer, some guys are reaching for the shirt jacket to stay toasty. Also known as the overshirt, the shirt jacket is losing its woodsman connotation as designers retool it with high-tech fabrics and slimmer silhouettes. According to Paul Berardi, a shirt jacket is becoming more important because it's that key layering piece for when summer goes into fall. Brian, when you're asking yourself, how do I successfully transition from my summer wardrobe into my fall wardrobe? This is the answer to all your problems. Shirt jacket. Also known as a fucking shirt, man. Why does it have to be a jacket?
So this thing is essentially supposed to replace your shirt, but is it, like, heavy enough to be a jacket? Is it going to protect me from the elements?
Probably not.
What's the point of this thing?
If I had to guess, I would say no.
It's called a flannel shirt.
I would say that if you were to be dropped off in a wooded area and you had to survive on your own, you would not make it. Because it's not a jacket, it's a shirt. It is far more shirt than it is jacket.
As long as I got my shirt jacket in the woods, man, I'm good. I'm going to survive everything.
I may look like Paul Bunyan, but really, it's a fucking flimsy-ass shirt.
And I never swung an axe in my life.
I mean, yeah, they just look like shirts. Like, they might, like, you know how real men that do real jobs, they have those flannel jacket shirts?
Yeah.
That have, like, that little layer of protective padding in it to give them a little bit of warmth.
Yeah.
That's what they are. So they've been a thing. They've been a thing for a long time.
Okay.
But now it has a name.
The shirt jacket.
Shirt jacket.
Huh. Well, I'm not buying one.
No.
I'll just continue
because you
buying my
probably
shirt.
already have one.
I probably do. If you go into my closet right now, I bet you find 5 of them right now.
Then you need to sell that shit and make a mint.
I need to talk to this guy and say, where's my money? I've been buying these things for years.
Yeah, it doesn't need a name. It's just a shirt.
Yeah,
it's a thick
just
shirt.
a shirt. If you want a jacket, get a heavy jacket and wear it over the shirt.
Yeah.
There you go.
Something that you and I are very familiar with. We don't have the best beards.
Mine don't grow like far like a wizard or something like that, and I don't have the patience. But
they're good.
Yes,
they serve their
purpose. Mine's a full beard.
Well, if you wanted to be wizard-like in your beard skills, baby-faced men, which again aren't us, they're opting for beard transplants.
Like for men who just can't grow a beard or just don't have the patience?
Well, if you're Jose Armos, age 28, a paramedic who lives in Miami, he looks so young that when responding to 911 calls, he seemed to add to some patient's distress. They would look at me and be like, okay, is this 16-year-old really going to take care of me? Said Mr. Almars, who had the sparsest of beards.
So basically, they were mistaking him as a little kid.
Yes. He had a full beard transplant from sideburns to chin at a cost of about $7,000.
What? $7,000 just to get a facial hair transplant?
More than 1,000 individual hair follicles were harvested from the back of his head, where hair grows thickest, and transplanted to his face.
Little does he know, he's just bald on the back of his head now.
That's always what I thought about those Bosley guys that they show in those commercials.
Yes. Well, good thing I can't see the back of my head.
But the front looks spectacular.
I got the most immaculate beard ever, but I don't have any hair on the back of my head.
I mean, he's 28, and I mean most of the guys whose beard you see, they really don't come in until they're about 30. In my experience, I
mean, I almost feel like maybe he just didn't have the patience, or maybe when he attempts to grow his beard, does it come in all patchy? That he just says, fuck it, and decides to go babyface?
I don't know. It doesn't seem worth it.
See, I'm 24,
mm-hmm.
and I have a pretty, I would say, a decently full beard.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have patience.
Yeah.
And also, I look creepy as hell, baby-faced. I look like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's terrible. I will never go baby-faced again.
No.
But
no, nor will I.
I just feel he had maybe too many excuses and spent way too much money on something you just probably didn't need.
I mean, it's the universe's way of saying you don't get to grow a beard. That's all it is. It's natural selection, as Darwin explained.
Right.
And that survival of the beardiest. If you can't grow a beard, you don't get a beard.
But that's the thing. He probably could grow a beard. Maybe he just didn't try.
Well,
so he just said, fuck it, here's $7,000. Patch one on me, man.
Well, Mr. Armos, if you do listen to this, our recommendation is next time, have a little gumption about it.
Take a little time for yourself. Jeez.
Good things come to those who wait to grow their beards.
That's just something. $7,000. You could have bought yourself so many different things with $7,000 other than a beard.
Probably a personality. Because that's probably mostly.
How about a little vacation time and patience so you can grow that beard for $7,000? Jeez. That's just amazing.
I don't get it. I mean, I guess I feel bad for him. I guess.
And the only way I feel bad for him is, like I said, if he did actually try and it comes in patchy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way I feel bad for him. Because then you don't have the choice in that. So yeah, if you really wanted the beard so people wouldn't mistake you for a 16-year-old, let me go ahead and get a transplant.
Well, but there are other hair options.
Well, there is.
You can go goatee. You can go just sideburns. You can go just mustache if you really want to creep out the kids that you're helping into your large van with lights on them.
Got some candy for you. I don't know. There's a lot of variables that could be thrown into that one.
Much cheaper alternative.
Yes.
I think we've expended that category.
Yeah.
Move on to...
Maybe destroyed that kid's life a little too much.
Guys, I just have real self-confidence issues.
It's not my fault I can't grow a beard.
My mom used to shave me since I was a baby. I actually came out with a full beard.
Little do you know, I was a little too close to the campfire one day, and now I can never grow a beard.
I was horribly burned as a child.
So, joke's on you, Jokey McJoke Maker. Not all of us could have full, luscious beards.
Now I just look like the woodsman version of Freddy Kruger.
Comes in full flannel shirt and everything, just with axe and everything. No one can trust him because he doesn't have the beard.
Instead of a brown fedora, he has a bearskin hat.
And just a red flannel shirt. If you don't fall asleep in the woods, it's bad for you then.
Oh, you want your dreams all right.
He'll shave your beard right off and he'll paste it to his own face. That's what he does.
He seals your beard.
You wake up, your beard is gone. All right, moving on.
All right, now it's time for us to geek about a little bit of sport and sport about a little bit of geek. You got anything that hot topics you want to discuss?
There was a topic that I just watched today. It was on ESPN's First Take. with Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, where they debate sports topics and what's going on in the sports world today.
Yeah, that unfortunately exists.
Come on now, I like that. But one of the topics was, I guess ESPN did a poll of all the NBA players, since NBA is coming around. We're in preseason basketball right now.
Which, how fast did that come on?
Very fast. I feel like it just ended.
It really did. We had 2 weeks of zero NBA.
Which was honestly lovely.
Oh, God.
Because basketball season's too long as is. I feel if we can drop the basketball season down and the baseball season down,
yes,
we would live in a happier world.
Just drop them down to a manageable amount of games.
Yes. That we don't lose interest in them.
No.
Until, of course, I pay attention to baseball at the beginning, and then not until playoffs.
I assume there's a game a day.
I believe there is.
Yeah.
Every single day, I believe there's one
There's
game.
a game. And then what's the point? How do you make any specific game any special and make it carry any weight whatsoever?
They need to learn from football.
They do.
So, but back to the topic that they had.
Mm-hmm.
It was they made a poll of the top NBA players in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
The one that bothered me the most was they rated Kobe Bryant 93rd. Now now I understand the previous 2 years he's been hurt, but even the year before that he was rated 40. No, I think 40th or number 6th. No, yeah, it was 40th last year, 6th 3 years ago before he started getting hurt.
Okay.
But now he is 93rd. I do not agree with that.
No.
I am now Stephen A. Smith, who is a big Kobe Bryant fan, said this was blasphemy. This was the worst poll ever. And I'm honestly in agreement with him. Can you name me, honestly, 92 other NBA players that are better than Kobe Bryant?
I can't name 92 NBA players.
If you can, that is amazing.
Did he play it all last season?
I think he played 41 games last season before he ended up getting hurt.
How many games are there altogether?
Too many.
I think I heard there's 100, isn't at least it's around baseball number. Baseball, there's 120.
No,
something?
Baseball.
150.
Too many.
Yeah,
too many for me to ever keep up with or pay attention to. But I believe he played 41 games last season before he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But still, to drop from 6 to 40 to 93, that's just Kobe Bryant. 5 titles. Well, I think he's, an Olympic gold medalist too? Yeah, because I think he won one with LeBron.
Sure, I will take your word on all of this.
I don't think I can even name 10 current basketball players that are better than Kobe Bryant at this moment.
I mean, I don't know much about basketball, but let's say, for example, if this was the NFL, and if they were doing the same ranking, which they usually do, and let's say that he played a third of a season.
Okay.
I mean, do you take into account overall career when you're doing these lists? Or do you take into account that player's stats for that season? I mean, if you're taking into account their entire career, obviously, there is a major case to be made that he's at least in the top 5.
Right.
At least.
Right.
Of current active roster players. Looking at the whole year.
Now, if they were going by the stats of the previous season, I understand that then, because he only played 41 games, and he had to put up a bunch of shots and do all this stuff, because the squad around him was awful.
Yeah.
What, your next best player is a dude named Swaggy P?
And that's the thing.
That alone, I would put up so many shots because I'm not trusting someone with the name Swaggy P to throw up anything.
No, there was a time where even if you didn't watch basketball, you knew every starting player's name
Right.
on the Lakers.
Right.
Because they were just that good and that predominant.
But then they all got old.
And left.
And left, retired, became broadcasters, all that. The only remaining person is Kobe.
Yeah.
And he's won 2 titles since that time, since everybody left.
Mm-hmm.
But then now he's plagued with injury. He's getting older. But I just don't see 93rd.
Which, to be fair, if they were doing it based off of last season's stats alone, and he only played a third of the games, that means that he beat out players that probably played the entire season. And still did better than them.
So I guess I don't know what the criteria was, I guess. Whether it was they were just basing it off of last season's stats, or if they were just basing it off of career.
That's probably a handy piece of information.
Yeah, well, I was just upset about the 93
anyway,
regardless. Kobe Bean Bryant, 93rd. That's just, wow. I mean, when you were little, you watched this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Just to see him go from, what, at one point, would you say number 1 basketball player before LeBron and all them?
Probably, yeah. After Jordan and before LeBron, definitely he ruled that period.
So to go from number 1 all the way back.
93.
That's like watching a legend die.
Yeah.
So that's my sports thing.
No, it's... Yeah, again, I don't follow basketball that closely. I know Kobe Bryant. I know that he's a hell of a player. And, I mean, at the very least, whenever you do put him on any sort of list, regardless of current play, probably respect should be given to a player of that caliber. Obviously, a legacy and one that will be remembered long after he's out of the NBA. So I could see the outrage. 93 is not a spot for a legend.
Oh, yeah. No. That's like putting Brett Favre, 100th greatest player ever.
Yeah.
Or putting, Michael Jordan dead last in the poll of NBA players.
Yeah, I bet even on his worst year, you didn't see Jordan number 93.
And if you did, something was extremely wrong.
Even when he came back and played for the Wizards, Jordan was not 93rd on a list.
Oh, that's because when he even came back for the Wizards, he was still averaging, I think, around 15 to 20 points a game still.
Really?
Yeah, he was doing pretty good for the Wizards. It's just the Kobe system. Who's around him? One man can't do it all by himself. That's why it's a team sport.
For the sake of basketball, I do hope that he comes back strong this season.
Plays a full season and possibly, if he decides to, ends on a good note. Or just at least a healthy full season.
If he can't, if, God forbid, something happens to him, should he hang it up?
I think he should, but I believe he has too much pride that he's just going to keep pushing himself to do one more full year, because I believe that he believes he can do one full year without getting hurt. So we will see what happens with that.
He should, again, don't know much about basketball, so I'm probably talking out of my ass. But it seems like in Cleveland, LeBron is trying to take a role on the team that doesn't necessarily require him to be out there for an entire 60 minutes of playing time.
Right.
Do you think that should obviously be something that Kobe should be trying to do for the Lakers, and that they should be trying to accommodate for him if they want him to remain healthy and remain a pivotal part of the team?
I would say yes, but LeBron has a cast of characters around him. You have a Kyrie Irving. You have a Kevin Love.
And they spent a hell of a lot of money to make that happen for him, which is something that Cleveland doesn't do.
So they have enough people that LeBron can sit and rest and make sure he is healthy and doing all that. And he knows that team then can carry and do all that. Kobe doesn't have that luxury.
No.
Who do you have now? D'Angelo Russell, who, in my opinion, I cannot stand. Yes, he's an Ohio State boy, and I love Ohio State, but he is a cocky son of a bitch. So, and you have Carlos Boozer. He's up there in age, too.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the same person he used to be.
I didn't even know Boozer was on that team.
Yes, he is.
Wow.
And then, like I said again, you have Swaggy P, who I'm surprised is still on a basketball team.
So, I mean, you can't fault Kobe in any respect.
No.
I mean, it's obviously the front office is dropping the ball. Team management is dropping the ball on this one.
Yes, they did not give him the supporting cast that he needs, that he can do then a LeBron role of, let me sit and rest, and so then I can play the whole season and not worry about injuries and all that stuff.
Which is what he needs to do.
Yeah.
Saboteur.
Good Metallica song.
Another news, Browns still suck. That's
not news.
Which is, if ever I wanted to do any updates on them, that's about the only update you need.
Find yourself a new team.
And the fact that Matt Hasselbeck is starting for the Colts right now.
Jeez.
I didn't even know he was still in the NFL.
How old is he?
I think I read that he is 40.
He is 40?
He is playing at the age that Brett Favre was playing, but guess what? He's not Brett Favre.
No, he was never even close to Brett Favre. I remember the one, I think it was like a wild card game or a playoff game, where it was the Packers versus the Seahawks, and Matt Hasselbeck was the quarterback. Mm-hmm. And they went into overtime, and they did their coin toss or whatever, and then Seattle won the coin toss, so then they ask, do you want to receive or you want to kick? And what Matt Hasselbeck did, the infamous quote of, we want the ball and we're going to score. What does he do? He throws a pick six within that first drive, and the Packers won. Now, yes, Brett Favre throws interceptions too, but he never sat there and went, we want the ball and we're going to score.
A man who probably could have gotten away with saying that.
Yes. So that's all I will remember about Matt Hasselbeck is that alone, is that he was so confident that he was going to score. Well, technically, let's put it this way. He did score, just not to the right team.
He goes home to his wife, says the same thing to her. Honey, I want you to take these balls. I'm going to score.
Yeah, and next thing you know, she was in the bed with someone else at that time.
Is that the equivalent of an extramarital pick six?
I guess.
That's true. Someone else did score.
Someone else did score. It wasn't him. But he was sure confident in it, though.
So, sports related, but not entirely, having to do with players or team. A couple things are pretty big right now, like that FanDuel.
Which I heard they're actually in a lot of hot water, honestly.
Are they?
I heard someone in their office was overlooking like some of the players and who they were betting and things like that, and put those players in on his own team and ended up winning. Now, I don't know if this is true or if it's just a rumor spreading around, but if it's true, FanDuel's in a lot of hot water.
Well, they may be in a lot of hot water anyways, because according to Yahoo Sports, I'm not going to bury the lead here, millionaire sports gambler explains why regular guys are getting fleeced playing daily fantasy sports. I've never heard of this gentleman, but his name is Haralabos Vulgaris.
Oh, that sounds so familiar to me.
Also known as Bob. Good old Bob.
Good old Jim Bob.
Or H. Bob.
Okay, well.
Is a professional sports gambler, which is a thing.
That's a wonderful profession.
And has been called the world's top NBA gambler. He has made a name for himself by identifying patterns, locating edges, and developing models and algorithms to beat the sports stocks. Now, what he's saying is, in a recent controversy dug up by the New York Times, one employee for DraftKings, this is what you were talking about, was shown to have access to valuable data the same week as he won $3,500 at rival site FanDuel. raising questions about who had access to what data. According to Vulgaris, it is not really a big advantage as the data can be found by regular players if they do the right research, at least for NFL games. He says that the advantage that he had is not even really that big of an advantage in the NFL because the information he was using is basically publicly available on a Thursday. So basically, if you enter a bunch of contests on a Thursday, you can see the ownership of all the players that you selected, and that's representative of that Thursday for the following Sunday NFL.
If it was just that easy, wouldn't we all be millionaires at this point?
In other words, according to this article, a player can see the ownership data on Thursday, and the patterns will likely still be the same on Sunday.
I'll just stick to my actual fantasy football. Don't put me on this Reality Kings FanDuel.
It doesn't surprise me that these things are a sham. So I think that about covers sports for this week. You got anything comic book nerd-wise?
I honestly don't, other than I find it amazing yet hilarious that Ryan Reynolds is really taking in his role of Deadpool.
Oh, yeah.
By taking over his Twitter account, like answering sarcastically like Deadpool would, and things like that. I just find that to be amazing, and just that he's in the actual character. And I think like it might be the most fun probably he's had playing a character in a long time, or if ever.
I mean, he's had such a personal stake in getting this movie made, period.
Right.
And now that they're actually doing it, yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, this has got to be a dream come true for him, and it'll probably be one of the brighter spots of his career.
Yeah, hopefully.
And he is such a perfect fit for the character. I mean, as much as Chris Evans is associated with Captain America now, and Hugh Jackman.
Not the Human Torch?
No.
Oh, man.
Is that who he is to you?
Yeah, he was always the Human Torch to me.
He's always Johnny Storm.
Flame on.
I was a flame when Johnny Storm was white.
Who's this Michael B. Jordan character you want to throw at me?
But that's eventually one day when he passes and they show his highlight reel at the Oscars.
They won't do that. They skip over people, and then it's like 2 seconds of showing their face.
Yeah. That'll probably be the one character that they'll show for him.
He's had a lot of good movies, though. That would be tough.
He's not a bad actor. Not in any stretch. He's just, he got so hot and was so easy to pigeonhole that, and by all accounts, Green Lantern probably should have been good.
We can forget about that one. I honestly forgot about it until you just brought it up. So
I think that when I first saw it, I remember thinking, that was all right. It wasn't great. Wasn't horrible. And now I've only seen it that one time, and now I think the internet has shaped my view of the movie.
Now I'm going to be honest with you. I have not seen that movie all the way through. I've seen it on bits and pieces, like on TV, and I turn the channel immediately. It just doesn't look good to me at all. It's the equivalent of Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
Yeah.
To me. Like, let's forget about it.
Especially now that we have that show.
Which the show is good. No, not just good. I mean, it's beautifully put together.
Yeah, of the 3 episodes you've watched of it?
I think I watched 5. How many are in that season?
Like 12.
Yeah, see? I watched them.
You have watched as much of the first season of Daredevil as Kobe Bryant played games last season.
And I'll still be ranked 93rd of the top 100.
This actually was announced, I believe, today, that Marvel is once again changing up their slate of movies for the upcoming years, all the way out to 2020.
Such a long way away.
Which they have now announced that, of course, Ant-Man's next appearance will be in Captain America Civil War, but now they've announced that he will have a sequel that is planned for July 6, 2018, that will be called Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, and the Wasp. Isn't the Wasp his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Whatever.
The Evangeline Lilly character.
Yes, okay.
And actually, will be the first Marvel movie that has a female character in the title. Because now it's coming out ahead of Captain Marvel.
Good job.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving up in the world.
And it says here, according to comicbook.com, Ant-Man's second adventure will lead to a couple of other films shifting their dates, with Black Panther moving up to February 16th, 2018, and Captain Marvel landing on March 8th, 2019.
This just all seems so far away. Like, I get that they announce, like, hey, we're going to have this movie coming out and all this.
Mm-hmm.
But then they build you up just to kill you with, oh, it's not going to be out for another 3 to 4 years.
But, let's say, at one point in your life, no, let's say at one point in my life, things go horribly wrong. And I lose all will to carry on anymore.
Okay.
As in, I'm sitting there on the edge of my bed. I have a bottle of alcohol in one hand, pills in the other. I'm just about to chug them. And then I remember, no, I have to stick around to at least 2020 to see Avengers 3 and to see what this whole Thanos thing is giving people a reason to live, Brian.
Ooh, after 2020, you go ahead and chug those pills.
And I probably plan on it because there's nothing else in this world I want to experience, because all the Marvel movies that have all the characters I give a shit about will be done.
But that time, can we even guarantee, maybe it is guaranteed, I don't know, that Robert Downey Jr. will still be your Iron Man and Chris Evans will still be your Captain America?
Oh, they won't be.
See, then that just makes everything weird.
Yeah.
I mean, you go through so many different movies of having that one singular actor play that character.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden to have it switched. And he doesn't play the character the same way that the character before did, or the actor before did. Is the whole thing ruined then at that point?
Which at that point which is what Marvel should have done with Spider-Man probably, which is when you're going to change iconic actors from these iconic characters, you should probably go with one of the other plethora of other characters that have also played that hero.
Yeah.
They probably should have gone with Miles Morales for the new Spider-Man. Or, I don't know, blanking on his, Ben Reilly, maybe even. You know, something different, something shake it up, instead of just Peter Parker, played by now a third guy.
Too many guys.
And when they eventually, when Chris Evans is no longer Captain America, maybe do the Falcon as Captain America.
Well, and then it goes to the whole thing, like now in comics, Thor is a woman.
Yeah, and I was surprised to find out who that. It's a specific character, not just a woman. It's surprisingly, spoilers, I guess, if you're reading it or want to read it. It's Jane Foster.
Oh, what? Oh,
yeah.
How does she become Thor?
I don't know.
He just hands her the hammer and says, "Have fun."
Yes.
I'm done. Here you go.
I don't feel like it anymore.
Now you're worthy, not me. I mean, I'm always worthy, but here you go. You can borrow it if you like.
See, like a typical man, he got a cold or something.
Right.
When he got out of bed, she's like, "Honey, you gotta go fight crime." And he's like, "I don't feel like it.
I'm too sick."
You know, you're fucking worthy. Take my hammer.
Here, just take it. I'm done with it for the day. Do it.
And now the Hulk is Asian.
Huh. I can't even begin.
No.
With the Hulk being Asian. Hulk smash! Like, what? How? You just got the gene from...
I don't know. Again, I just read snippets.
Yeah.
I haven't picked up a comic in months, and let alone any mainstream ones.
I started reading, like, the new 52s. Like, I read the Nightwing and Superman. Nightwing ended, apparently, because Nightwing, well, spoiler alert, quote-unquote, died.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Superman one just got really weird that I just stopped. I haven't been to my comic book store in months, and I have a pull list.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I got about 50 to 100 comics sitting in there waiting for me to go buy them, and I'm not going back there right now.
That's the last I remember. You were trying to keep up with the Superior Spider-Man?
The new Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Where it was after Doc Ock and Peter Parker switched bodies, and they're now themselves again. So Peter Parker is trying to get back his life, figure out what did Doc Ock do with his life.
Mm.
And it's just, that got confusing too. And then he was dating a midget, and then, or he was married to a midget, and then Mary Jane wanted nothing to do with him, and it was just all very confusing. Oh, and then there's this Silk, I guess is what her name is. She's like a female Spider-Man, where she doesn't really wear a suit. Her suit is webs just covering her private parts.
Oh.
And she has a thing for Peter Parker, so it's kind of like, is he married to the midget? Does he love the midget? Or is he going to go with this Silk lady? I don't... So it was too confusing to me that I just stopped. Does he love the midget? Does he want to be with the midget, even though the midget was technically with Doc Ock as Peter Parker? That's just confusing. I don't...
And how sure are we that Silk isn't just a homeless lady? That's all she could find is just picking up the leavings of his web and now wears it.
Well, because in the comic he found her in a lab, and they show her like just spraying it all on her, which is really weird to say.
Hold on, let me make myself decent.
Right, that's what it was, because she was butt-ass naked in his lab. And Peter Parker found her and said, all right, I need to get you out of here. She said, hold on one second.
Let me put my pasties on.
let me silk myself. And she just left. She has like the same powers, if not, I think she's stronger than Peter Parker, honestly. So it's like she's the chosen one. She's Neo from the Matrix.
So did she come about her powers in the same way that Peter did, or?
I have no idea.
So they didn't explain anything.
They didn't give her a backstory at that time. They might have at like maybe previous comics that I did not read. Or they gave her a backstory later on when I stopped reading, because I was very confused by everything.
Well, you need to fucking start reading them again, because I'm very interested in this Silk character.
You know what? You go to my comic book store and get my pull list. I'm sure they explain it all right there. They kind of went away from the topic, though.
Yeah.
Because right before I really stopped, there was alternate dimensions of this Spider-Man, where Gwen Stacy was a Spider-Man at one point.
I have heard about that.
And then there was Ben Parker... Not Ben Parker, what am I saying? Ben Parker got shot. Peter Parker, and then there was Miles Morales, and then there was all these different people were Spider-Man, and they had to fight like these mutant vampires that were just in alternate dimensions killing all of these Spider-Men. It was just weird. And they broke it up into like 8 comics, and I was like, yeah, I'm done after this. Like, this isn't Spider-Man. What is all this?
So how long ago was this?
Oh, months ago.
I'll say, because it sounds like they were leading towards the second reincarnation of the Secret Wars.
They probably were.
Yeah.
I don't remember how long ago it was, but all I know is I was done. After that, I was like, let me know when things go back to normal. Maybe I'll pick it up again. I don't know, but it's just... A lot of things were just weird about it. When they announced that The Amazing Spider-Man would be coming out, I thought maybe it was just going to be a reboot and with a new take on it, like, you know how DC did the New 52.
Yeah.
I thought maybe they were going to redo Marvel, do a whole new Spider-Man. Nope. It was just a continuation. So if you didn't read anything before that, you were very confused reading on.
Yeah, my interest in comics is very fleeting, in the sense that I'll read tidbits, and like the cover that they had for Secret Wars, the new one, blew my mind. I looked at it and I was like, this is awesome. There's that Iron Man, and he's fighting that older one, and there's like 3 different Captain Americas. I was like, I should read this. 5 minutes later, I totally forgot about it, and I've never picked it up, and I'm probably never going to.
And honestly, don't ever just judge the comic by the cover. The cover could look amazing.
Yeah.
And then once you actually get in the comic, it has nothing to do with whatever that cover was at all.
Somebody should make a saying for that.
Yeah. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a comic book by its cover. Excelsior, whatever. I feel Stanley's got something to do with that one.
There you go. There's your lesson today for today, kids. I think that about wraps up sports and comics and general geekery.
Geekery, that's a new word.
Did you have a story for this last segment, or
I do not.
Alright, so we just have the one. The final segment that we will close out every episode with is appropriately titled See You in Hell. And the basic premise is that Bryan and myself do just horrible celebrity impressions. Probably enough that once we tell you what we're doing, you'll probably be like, oh yeah. But there's no way that ahead of time you'll be like, oh, that's clearly...
I have no idea who he's even impersonating right now. He's way off.
I think he just went half stroke in the middle of the podcast.
Is he okay?
But the premise is that we will select a pretty sad story from the internet, but we'll try and put a humorous spin on it by reading it as a celebrity that you'll probably know. So we're going to click on our handy-dandy wheel of celebrity impressions. Actually, I think Bryan's going to be doing this one because we pulled up Bill Clinton.
Mm-hmm. I knew you'd be back. Alright, so bear with me. My Bill Clinton impersonation likes to go in and out, and it just won't sound the same anymore. So here we go. A California man charged with murdering his mother, told police that killing her and desecrating her body felt good, according to reports. Omar Pedigan, age 31, allegedly used a tomahawk that hung on the wall of his 64-year-old mother's Monroe apartment to strike her on the head before shooting her in the back at least 7 times and cutting open her chest to pick up her heart. Wow, I'm done reading that.
to make it fair, I'll keep going a little bit of detail, but we'll see if we can land on one that I can do.
And we did not read these stories at all. As a fair warning.
My unfortunate choice for celebrity impression will be Lou Ferrigno. He put the heart back in the Lana Pelican's body and then reportedly masturbated because...
What?
He needed to be with himself and needed a release after the event. Omar Pedigan allegedly said that the gruesome act felt good when he was arrested north of Oakland on Sunday. His arrest came after police discovered the woman's body in her blood-soaked bedroom, according to the news. They were performing a welfare check on the behest of Nyla Pelican's ex-husband. Yeah, I think that's all we need of that one.
What a good way to start with this segment is that story. Wow.
But we made it happy.
I hope so. I mean, maybe they can let us know through our Twitter page if you want to let them know what our Twitter handle is. Tell us what you thought of that story and now if we made you feel any happier about it or if we just creeped you out a little
bit. Or if we just made you feel.
or just tell me how you felt.
if you've been in a bad place for a couple of years.
If we made you put down that pill bottle. No.
Yeah, I think that about does it. Again, this is our first episode. We will be evolving the show as need be and as we go on. So, obviously, we'll keep some segments at work. We'll come up with new things. We'll integrate them into the show as we go. We hope you guys enjoyed it. This is something that we're in for the long haul. So as long as you guys stick around and you keep giving us support and keep listening, we'll be here to give you episodes. You can tweet us at BangBangTangPod. You can find our Facebook page, Bang Bang Tang Podcast. You can send us emails, bangbangtangpodcast@gmail.com. And tweet us, Facebook us, send us emails, any questions, any suggestions that you may have, any feedback in general, we would love to hear.
Or if you'd just like to say hi, I'm not going to be mad about that.
We'll say hi back.
Maybe.
We ain't snobs. I mean, unless your Omar here likes to masturbate on your mom.
Because it felt good.
Because it felt good.